back to my channel, and if you're new to my channel, hello, my name is Cheesy. Or for the sake of today's video, my name is Beauchesne. So for today's video, I will be making okra soup, which is a traditional Nigerian dish. And if you don't know, I'm Nigerian, and it's just one of the things that we eat. It is one of the many soups that we like to eat with starch, is what we call it. And it's a very good food. There's many, as I said, there are many different types of soup, but okra soup is my favorite, so I thought I'd make it for you guys. So I don't know if you can tell, it is nighttime. I have my flash on, so you probably can't tell, but it is nighttime, and it is the night before I am actually going to be cooking the soup. And what I'm doing right now is just preparing the meat. So what we do, my mom does, my mom recommends cooking the meat overnight. And this allows the meat to just cook overnight, and by the time you wake up and you're ready to cook the whole soup, the meat is already cooked and done, and all the seasoning is absorbed into it, and it's just ready to go. And you can just throw it into the pot and add it, and it doesn't add much time to the cooking process. And yeah, and it's a really efficient way because I have a slow cooker right here, so I'm going to put it in here and keep it on low. And it's just going to cook slowly overnight, and by the time we wake up, because that's going to be in maybe 7-8 hours, then it'll be done, because yeah, that's how long it takes me to cook. So I'm just going to demonstrate that for you guys. So as you can see, I've already chopped up some onions. We can roll that clip.
As long as the peppers,
Twisted mind.
Jesus cannot fail you.
So yeah, here we are, the onions. And then we have our meat. And for the okra soup, we'll be using goat meat. And that's just one of the many meats you can use. If you don't want to use goat meat, you can use something else. People also use seafood. I will also be adding mushrooms into this because I just like to add mushrooms into the soup. So I did wash the meat to make sure that there are no bacteria, because we don't want to eat bacteria. That's not good. And then I also brought out some of the seasoning that I will be using. So I will be using accent. And then I will also be using some Maggi, or it's called Knorr cubes, and they're also just a type of seasoning cubes. We have a lot of that, and then I might add some curry powder into it as well. Alright, so I'm just going to go ahead and start cooking the meat.
He never fears anything you are. He doesn't run a word. His promises, me God is good.
Alright, then we add our onions. I only added 1 bulb of onions, but it looks like it's not enough, so I might add another, just to make sure that it really tastes good. Alright, and I will turn this on so we can get that going. And putting in some of this accent seasoning. Okay. And I probably should have opened these before I started the video, but I will add some of these cubes in too. So I just went ahead and crushed up some of this, some of these cubes, because you don't want cubes and a bunch of chunks of seasoning in our meat. So I just went ahead and crushed these up so it's easier for it to break down and absorb into the meat. Alright, so I'm just going to go ahead and turn this.
You a vaccine. Jesus cannot fail you in life. As long as there's a purpose. Jesus cannot fail you.
Alright, so I don't really measure, my mom doesn't really measure how much of the things that she puts into the dishes. So by default, I also don't. Even though I like to quantify stuff, but it's hard to really do that, especially with most of these Nigerian dishes. So we kind of just put however much we want, just to make it taste how we want it to taste. So with the onions, I put 1 bowl of onion. I turned it and it looks like it's enough, but I might add maybe half of another one. It's a medium-sized one if you really want to follow along. And then I put so far 4 cubes of the seasoning. I will add some more just to make sure that that the seasoning really reaches all of the meat. And then I added some accent. I believe I will add some more just to like make it taste really nice, and just so like when it's all fully cooked, I don't want it to like taste bland in any way, especially since my family members will be eating it, and I don't want them to be like, oh, that tastes kind of bland. So I want to make sure that it tastes really good and really tasty. So I will add some more seasoning. I'll add some more onions, and I will also add some more. Yeah, I'll just add a little more of everything just so make sure it tastes all good. So while I'm doing this and I'm letting the meat start cooking before I go to sleep, I'm also bringing out some of the frozen ingredients, such as the okra. We have blended okra that has already been blended, and I brought that out. Actually, I brought that out this morning to make sure that it was fully defrosted by the time I actually cooked it. I'll also bring out the blended crayfish from the freezer, which it's blended so it's not really frozen, but that's where we keep it. And then we'll also put spinach into it, and the spinach is already cooked because it's the one that we just bought from the store. On the directions on the spinach, it literally says keep frozen until like you need to use it. So I can just keep that into the freezer, just keep it here in the freezer in the kitchen, and just have it ready for when we need to go. And I did mention that I will be cooking, adding mushrooms into this, so I will cook these mushrooms kind of off camera and then add it to the soup later. Alright, so I will see you guys in the morning. Alright, so it is the next morning, and I've already made a mistake. So I was supposed to actually use the pressure cooker and not the slow cooker, and I added too much water, and now the meat might be too soft. So I had to go ahead and remove the water from the meat because there's water in like the okra, and I also had to remove water from the spinach and sieve it to make sure that the soup is not too watery. So I've already made a mistake, but I'm trying to like backtrack and try to like make up for it in other places. But yeah, I mean, that's just how it goes. So I'm going to start by adding the meat from the slow cooker to the pressure cooker that I'm actually going to use to make the soup. And then from there, I'm going to also add the okra that has fully defrosted, and it's pretty like slimy, but it's in the bag, so it's fine. And then I'll add other ingredients as well and just keep going from there.
As long as the peppers,
Twisted mind.
Jesus cannot fail you in life. Ooh, as long as the lizard, Jesus cannot fail you in life. Do I know failure? You cannot fail anybody. You cannot fail anybody.
So now I'm just gonna add some okra into it. The way we store it into a bag. Have like a bunch of these in the freezer, and yeah, you can see that it is all blended and all ready to be added into here. And I did turn on the stove. I'm just gonna go ahead and add it into the pot.
As long as there's a purpose, Jesus cannot fail you in life. For what he says you do, there's nothing you will be so hard for him.
And I'm just going to talk to you guys a little bit about how I obtain these ingredients. So we buy the ingredients from local African markets. There's one like not too far away from where I live right now. Or we have family and friends bring it over from Nigeria when they're traveling here from there. So like the Aya or the okra, Arya is the crayfish. So we may have family members bring that over from Nigeria. What else do we have? There is the okra, but okra you can pretty much get at any local like grocery store or what did we get? We got it at like around Dazzles, so you can pretty much get it like anywhere. And so we just blended it up, washed it, blended it into a blender, and then we put it, we store it into storage Ziploc bags, and we put it in freezer to preserve it and to use it later time. So like the one that I use for today, I don't know when it was like prepared. It was a little while ago, which makes things easier for us when we want to make the soup. And there's also spinach. I used a mix of like fresh spinach that had also been cooked and chopped up, that was put in the freezer. And I also bought spinach from the store. It was just from like a Kroger. Again, you can get spinach anywhere. And then, yeah, that's pretty much about all the stuff. I mean, the palm oil we got from an African market. The accent seasoning, you can get that. We buy it from Sam's Club. I'm sure it's also in other places. Maggie, also local markets. I think you can also buy it somewhere else. I'm not sure. But that's pretty much about all the ingredients, I believe. Oh, and the mushrooms that I added in there just for funsies, I also got that from Kroger. You can get that anywhere. So it's pretty convenient for us to get it. I think if you wanted to recreate it, maybe the crayfish and pretty much the crayfish and the palm oil might be like the ones that you might have to like go out of your way to find. Crayfish is not, I don't think it's too hard to find if you know where to look. Again, your local African market, same thing with the palm oil.
Oh, what a mighty God, me safe. He never fears anything you are. He doesn't run away.
So I'm going to go ahead and add the ayuya, or the crayfish, to our soup. And this is another one of those things where you don't really measure exactly how much to put it. I just asked my mom this morning and she said it's by tastiness. So I'm just going to start off with like maybe 3 of these big not teaspoons, of these big spoons, cooking spoons, and just put it in here.
You cannot fail anybody in life. Do I know failure? You cannot fail anybody. You cannot fail anybody in life. It got my destiny. Oh yeah, yeah. It gave me all the things I need. Oh yeah, yeah. There's nothing so big to him. Oh yeah, yeah. It got my destiny.
So I'll probably add another spoon of the crayfish into here. You can see it's kind of starting to come together a little bit. So I'm gonna go ahead and add some palm oil. So for the palm oil, I will start with 4 of these big spoons in here, and then I might add another one later.
Jesus cannot fail you in life. Do I know failure? You cannot fail anybody.
And we mustn't forget about our spinach as well. You can see that's in the sieve because I sieved it to make sure I got rid of excess water.
You cannot fail anybody in life.
And I mustn't forget also about seasoning. Seasoning is very important in our dishes. So you want to make sure it tastes good. The meat is pretty tasty, so I may not need that much, but we'll see.
As long as the delizo, Jesus cannot fail you in life. Do I know failure? You cannot fail anybody.
So you can kind of see that it's starting to come together a little bit and kind of look like okra soup as we make it. I'm going to go ahead and add some Maggi cubes. Well, first I should probably add the mushrooms that I did say I made. I cooked some mushrooms last night, and those also are pretty tasty. I added some seasoning to that. And it does have water, so I will, just to make sure it's not too watery, I'll add the mushrooms first without the water, and then I can add water later.
So hard for him, me Lord. Nikomu pemba ye, mulungu sakangiwa ebeno. Oh, what a mighty God, me safe. He never fears anything you are. He doesn't run away. This promise you.
So when cooking like Nigerian traditional foods, I usually face like some type of anxiety, like a little bit of anxiety, just when I have to cook it, just because like um, it's expected that uh, like women or like girls, the females, that they know how to cook and from a young age, and that they're in the kitchen like watching their mothers cook, and to just carry that on and to cook, be able to cook anytime for the family and everything. And I did not do that, unfortunately, growing up really. And it's a constant conversation in our house of like me knowing how to cook and to cook the traditional foods. And even today, with like me messing up on the cooking and like cooking the meats in the wrong way, kind of, still I was able to like salvage it and like make up for that in other ways. But it's just there's like certain expectations for me to like know how to cook it and to cook it well, um, and I don't know, and to cook it like regularly, and I haven't been doing that. But I'm kind of like the last few years, like in my college years, I've been kind of playing catch up, and trying to prepare these dishes well for my family and that they're going to eat it. I mean, they're going to eat it regardless. They're going to eat what I make because I made it, so like it's not going to go to waste. But I want to like make sure that what I cook meets their expectations, and it also like meets up to like what my mom cooks, because my mom, she's amazing in like cooking everything, and you know, it's expected that I also become like that. And it's just those expectations are kind of hard to like live up to, but I'm trying my best. I'm busy a lot with the classes and school and all my schedule and everything, but I really try to you know, try to help and play catch up, because I know I will need this when I'm living on my own, probably have my own family and everything, and I want to also cook traditional Nigerian dishes for them as well. So I'm gonna go ahead and add some of these Maggi cubes into here. You've also probably seen me like taste it periodically, and that's just to make sure that it's tasting good and to see if I need to add any more seasoning into it. And the thing with these Maggi cubes, you want to make sure that you are monitoring them so that they don't just like fall into the soup or into whatever dish you're using them in and get lost, because it's pretty easy to do that. And then once they're in there, and like the heat's kind of gotten to it, like to crush it up.
He got my destiny. Oh, he got my destiny. There's nothing so big to him. He gave me all the things I need. He got my destiny. As long as you have asked him, Jesus cannot fail you in life. As long as there's a purpose, Jesus cannot fail you in life. Do I know failure?
Okay, it's starting to taste good. It tastes closer to what I want it to taste like. I'll let it cook a little bit more. Add some seasoning.
Fail anybody in life.
It's tasting good. And part of the trick is to keep turning it. On the bottom, you can tell it's getting a little burned, but that's okay. And it's pretty normal too. I think it's almost done, if you can see that. I'm gonna show you guys a little bit. And I've reduced the heat a few minutes ago because it's pretty much coming together. It's just about done. I don't want anything to burn too much. And you can see that. You can see the sliminess. I don't know what the adjective or noun for that would be, but it's like coagulating a little bit. And that's kind of how we want it. gonna turn off the heat and let the heat that's still on the stove to bring it together a little bit more. It's tasting good. It tastes about done, to be honest. Yeah, I think I might add a little bit of this mushroom water, just like the tiniest bit, because I don't want it to be too liquidy. I also don't want to leave all the water in this other pot. Actually, we'll add a little more seasoning. Oh no, it's right on both sides. That's not good. That is definitely not good. Alright, so our soup is done and it is all good. It tastes good. Really tasty, and I'm very proud of myself for that. Overall, this experience has been actually pretty good, and I knew that it was going to I knew that it was going to be alright and better than like the anxieties that I had for it. I knew it wasn't going to be too bad. It's just when I'm left to my own devices, I'm like, oh, I don't know if I can do this. Even though I've seen my mom cook this dish a few times, she's made it a lot, and I think it's just because for this assignment I had to like kind of rely on more on myself. I think I definitely am a little bit more confident now and in cooking and knowing like what to do more specifically, and also in like making mistakes and kind of recovering from that. And because cooking is not an exact science, you know, and you can kind of like salvage things, make it better, and when you make a mistake, and it's not one of those things where it's like all hope is lost. I mean, thankfully I was cooking a dish where it could be that way, where I could salvage the dish and not like be like, oh no, I have to start over again, or like this just went to crap or whatever. I will definitely be preparing this meal, this dish again. Left to my own devices. I mean, at least my family will know now that I can cook it, so they will expect me more to cook it more. Just hopefully it works into my schedule and I can like cook it. Again, this is my favorite soup, Nigerian soup that we have, so I would love to cook it again. And now I know what it takes to like make it, so hopefully that'll go good again and have less bumps in the road. And yeah, I definitely feel more confident in the kitchen now than I did at the beginning of the semester. I think it's just being more confident in myself and in knowing, being more confident in the things that I know already, and that I've already been watching my my mom cook, and to kind of just like be like, okay, you've watched it, so now implement it and go do it, and to kind of like trust myself a little bit more. But yeah, I do feel more confident in the kitchen, and I would love to be more in the kitchen more as time goes on. Again, hopefully my schedule allows it. Actually, this afternoon I am cooking another dish for a Friendsgiving that I have tonight. Actually, I'll be cooking some green bean casserole, and yeah, I've been kind of looking forward to today, because I had to cook this and I have my other dish that I'm going to cook, and just being able to like, I feel like it's kind of an experiment and to kind of show people what I did in the kitchen. So I think after taking this course, and also at the course of these a few months, I've kind of like grown like a pride in being in the kitchen, and of me doing something in the kitchen, and I think it very much keeps me in tune with my culture, especially cooking this. So thank you for watching this video. If you like this video, go ahead and give it a thumbs up. If you're my professor, you do not have to give it a thumbs up. Just give me a good grade. I'm kidding. I mean, I hope you give me a good grade. I think this is a very insightful experience for me. But if you're not my professor, go ahead and give this video a thumbs up. And go ahead, if you want to comment something, comment something. Comment maybe your favorite dish to cook in the kitchen, or if you're one of my fellow students, what did you cook for this project, you know? And then also subscribe to my channel if you want to watch more videos from me, and go ahead and explore those things. Turn on the notification bell as well, because these posts are getting more few and farther between, because, you know, I'm busy with school and life and all the things. So I hope you guys have a great rest of your week and Thanksgiving break. Hope you guys have a great Thanksgiving. Alright, catch you on the flip side. Over and out.
You cannot fail anybody in life. You are no fail.